This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses. So, I was walking through Sainsbury's today and Tim from Pinho apparently watched the channel. Do you have a sausage dog? Because my wife thinks she knows you. Nothing weird, but maybe add me on Facebook or something. Anyway, I made a video today kind of choosing some of my best, in my opinion, drives of 2024. The pedals that I've had the most fun with, used the most. Those are surprising. They were all drive pedals, and I think they were mostly all overdrive pedals. Now, I'm not someone who pretends to know a ton about like circuitry or pedals and stuff like that. As I understand it, there are a few kind of major different topologies. There's a lot of overlap in terms of circuits as well, right? But, you know, there's things like hard clipping, right? There's things like soft clipping, and I think that's kind of like the difference between a distortion pedal and an overdrive pedal. Now, it happens to me that I think most of my drive pedals are overdrive pedals. There's a lot of Tube Screamer sort of stuff in my collection, things that are based on that sort of thing. I think like a Zen drive is kind of off of that part of the tree as well. So I wanted to kind of, what is going on here, like, and I think I've figured it out, is that basically there's this amount of, I'm going to call it tonal determinism, which kind of happens, and I'll show you in this video, kind of, I had two pedals next to each other that are not necessarily that similar, but I think what I'm looking for when I'm actually playing guitar is quite a narrow sort of range of stuff, like a certain amount of gain, want a certain amount of high end, but not that much. I want it to be kind of warm, which actually means probably reducing high end, if anything. That kind of then narrows things down into this pretty small window, and I think that's probably like a personal thing for every single person, but I don't know if you find yourself making quite a lot of your gear end up sounding the same. Obviously, it's like not necessarily the best feature to have if you're making demos on YouTube, right? Admittedly. I started making that video this morning. I thought like a lot of these tones to me seem to be very much similar. So I kind of just wanted to try this a bit here. So this is a Vemuram ODS Shanks, which is based on the Nobels ODR1. This is an Ibanez SD9. So these should be very different pedals. Right, now, so first of all, this one to me is sitting maybe a little on the darker side from where I'd be looking. Conversely, that is way too on the bright side for me, so I'd probably do this. Too much gain, and maybe that's not enough gain necessarily for whatever I'm going for, and is louder, I think. So yeah, definitely louder. So they did start off sounding very distinctly different, but to get them both working in a context for me, I've actually now ended up dialing them in to be like before that was too dark, this was too bright, and now suddenly I'm in a situation where like it hasn't closed the gap altogether, but now obviously this has the potential to sound way different. Like in terms of what I can actually manage and think sounds like what I want to sound, it's actually quite a small and maybe this is a better way to go about determining which pedals Let's switch this one out a second. Bearing in mind this is into a clean deluxe reverb normal channel, so all of the drive kind of character is coming from the pedals, right? So the starting point there, I would kind of suggest, is that the SD1 is kind of sounding like more like that's a similar kind of pedal, right? Definitely more bass on the Vemuram. Kind of darker. So you want to kind of try and get it so the levels are roughly similar. So again, in this context for me, I feel like the Vemuram is doing closer to what I want, but it's a smaller pool of tone here, right, that I think these two drive pedals are within. Something more like a straightforward tube scream. That's actually more similar than I was expecting. Of a mid push. But this, I think, the sort of thing where you're not really these are obviously supposed to be based on the same pedal. So let's just that's louder at the minute. Right, so if I've got like a super DS1 type pedal with a lot of high-end hard clipping, probably for me my first move is going to be to turn down the tone knob, you know, all these kind of things. Or if I've got like a somewhat boosty pedal which doesn't have as much gain, I'm probably going to turn that gain knob up way further. Anyway, I don't know, I just wanted to kind of throw that out there as a video, because I thought it can't just be me, and maybe I should be thinking, and this is kind of like a methodology which I thought works quite well for this, like just put two pedals that you're shooting out in a switcher. It's super obvious, right? But see which ones you can knock off, and if there's one specific pedal that kind of stays on for most of these things, then maybe that's the pedal that ends up being the keeper, and then maybe that's a way that you can sort of whittle down the gear if that's something you're seeking to do, or shoot out pedals amongst yourself. There's like one specific type of pedal in this video, the Nobels ODR style, which is actually new to me, and I'm thinking that that does actually quite a lot of the things that I'm looking for in a drive pedal, probably better than a tube screamer, better than an SD9 for sure, and better than the other things you see me try in this video. Shouldn't that just be, maybe even it'd be an argument for just having a couple of those on a board, like it's a £99 pedal? Maybe that would make sense. Or, you know, you have a Vemuram Shanks, or, you know, a real Nobels from the 90s, which costs a bit more. But if there is one type of drive pedal that does a lot of things for you, could you have a pedal board which had just a few of those on the board instead of having loads of different types? Would that make sense? Is that a dumb idea? Let me know in the comments. I don't know. Let me know.